Hi everyone, I'm Foxx, your host with the most fur here, your older, balder Asmongold. And today I got a pretty good topic for you guys, I think. I mean, I put a little bit of thought into this one. I always do, but it doesn't always land. But the topic, obviously, down below there, has gaming changed? Or have we? I want to explain that I am a older Fox. I'm over 40 years of age at this point, and I've seen a lot of gaming history and what we've been through, uh, how the culture has changed and stuff. So I wanted to preface this whole conversation like that. I am coming out of somebody who has had experience in the time, So uh first off, I wanted to bring up that gaming back in the day didn't require a lot. Let's get to the a video here showing. But anyway, gaming back in the day was a lot more about finding the fun. I mean, when we were kids, we weren't so focused on whatever flaws games had because they all, let's face it, had them. And I don't remember a lot of the conversation ever being about the games that were terrible. I mean, let's face it, a lot of the games back in the day weren't all that spectacular. I mean, for every Mario, every Sonic, every Zelda, there was at least 10 plus LJN games that blew chunks, but we never really talked about those too much unless if we were super disappointed and all that. But it's just, it was a different mindset back then, man. We wouldn't get our news from online and stuff. We would get them from magazines, if at all. We'd have commercials like what's showing right now, to get us hyped to play these games. And I just remember that the mindset was just a lot different back then. And I think we can contribute a lot of this to how how things have changed as far as the gaming space. In a lot of ways, we have a lot more games. We have a lot more high budget games, a lot better graphics, a lot deeper gameplay mechanics than ever in the modern age. And we really don't appreciate the gravity of that. We're stuck in our member berries, right? We talk about how gaming was so much better back in the day when, I don't know, was it? I guess you wouldn't let me know, regardless. But, the culture has changed a lot. We used to do all kinds of stuff, like just playing our favorite games. Like, these are some of my favorites, like Blaster Master. This is a game I never beat or got very far in, but it's one of my favorite games from the old days, right? And that was just the thing. If this was made in the modern age, I doubt people would be saying that, it's one of the greatest or even an honorable mention. We would be like Ninja Gaiden, for example. It's one of the classics, right? But if it was made today, people would say how unbroken and unfair it is. Like Sekiro, right? There's always a controversy where games need easy modes now, right? And games are too hard for the sake of being hard, and it's not for. I don't know. Maybe I'm just flapping my gums here, but I'm not saying we can't complain. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm saying that how we approached games was different. Uh, let's go to some other examples. Like, you look on the online space about live service games, for example. People always say there's a problem with them. Nobody likes them. The bubble's bursting. But let's be honest. If even Fortnite was released back in the day, like back when EverQuest was huge, we would be like, we would have a game that graphical, that with that much gameplay, that much stuff to do and modes, and it's completely free to play. We would have told you you're full of crap, man. But nowadays we can do stuff like that. We've got live service games that we can just jump in without investing anything if we don't want to. But, live service microtransactions are evil. I blame Maple Story, but, and the horse armor. But that's not a majority of games today. I do think that, games are potentially just getting the short end of the stick before they're even released. I mean, man, have you seen the trailer for Intergalactic from Naughty Dog? Like, these are the guys who've done, nothing but Last of Us for years. And I get that, people are upset about that. But clearly it's a game that vibed with them for a very long time. They really liked that story and wanted to keep it going, I guess. Keep it in the mindset of people and updating it a little by little. But, when I saw this trailer, I'll zoom in a little bit here. I mean, look at that poor ship, the anime playing in the background, the Ripley Alien 3 bald head going here, and everybody's just too focused on, I guess, their public agendas or whatever. It's got to be woke because it features a bald chick, or you know what I mean? I'm getting kind of tired of it. It's like to me, it looked like a space retro punk kind of deal, And I thought that was a really cool idea. Here she is putting CDs into a spaceship, man, listening to music, flying a freaking Porsche spaceship. I thought that was a cool idea. So it's not like the industry is out of ideas or not trying new IP. Luckily, that's not the conversation I was having today. And, game facts. This was our avenue into gaining information about our cheats, our community, our guides that we use, just text files, It was a work of art on its own, helping us get through games. these are things of the past, but they still exist today. All our retro games still exist today. You can emulate most of them, if not all of them, right? So what's the difference? And even when people do go back and play some of these retro games, it's not the same for them, right? It like doesn't hit the same. Well, what's changed? Have the games changed? No, they're the same as they always were. But it has to be us. And I think part of it is that instead of looking for the fun, we're looking for the flaws. And it's a big part of the culture today. I mean, just to, like we see here, just constantly dogpiling that gaming is dead. And like, you wouldn't have to look very far. Pretty much enter any modern game in there, and you'd see gaming is dying, right? And it's all about the remakes and stuff, and they're playing it safe. And I don't think gaming is dying. I don't think that it's going downhill. I think it's just too saturated, too diverse. I mean, you compare how many NES games there were, right? 1,395. That's total Nintendo Entertainment System games, right? To pick from. Now look at how many PS5 games are there. First party. Okay. That's not I doubt even Nintendo has I doubt even Nintendo has 1,000 some exclusive games, but first party games. $658. Okay, well, so much for that point. No. But it plays PS4 too, so let's say how many PS4 games are there total? 3,840 games for the PS4, right? So if we combine that, with last gen, but basically my point was there's a lot more games available to us than there were in the past. There's a lot more games to discuss than in the past, and there's a lot more games that are vying for our time, our money, and for us as gamers, it can be difficult to assess out which ones are bangers like Elden Ring here and which ones are duds like, I don't know, Rise of Kong, right? Or Golem. Concord didn't last very long, I guess. Which people say it's evidence of live service. No, it just didn't have likable characters in it. It didn't land, and they were charging $40 for it. If we wanted to play Overwatch or freaking Marvel Rivals, we just go play that. For free. So, it was more about, I just noticed that back in the day, we talked a lot more about the games we enjoyed over the ones we didn't. Gaming media, such as, magazines, commercials, and everything, were always hyping up and optimistic about games. Even games they didn't even really like, they were, the first ones to say, like, where the gameplay is a little, we liked the graphics. Those are top notch, or the sound, or the music. Nobody talks these things when they're reviewing games today. Everybody's just going through the checklist of how the game is crap nowadays. Like, you know, let's not talk about how Veilguard is actually pretty decent for the first couple hours, or we got to mention how, like, there's these distinct out of place woke sentiment things, and how it gets stale later on, or whatever, or repetitive. All games are repetitive in some cases. They all have their game loops. It's a different mindset. Did you go into Veilguard, I have to wonder, expecting to have fun? Or were you going in there with a pre-minded set after watching all those reviews and all those things that it's going to suck? And then lo and behold, when you're done playing it, it sucked. We should proceed things with the childlike mind to where we're trying games for the sake of it, If a game looks appealing to us, we should either get it or consider it. Add it to the old list, We all have a wish list of games that we want and games that we wish to play. And sometimes all it takes is the trailer to get us going. So I don't think video games really has changed too much. There's a lot of quality of life out there. There's a lot of bangers out there. And even if there are a lot of shovelware games and broken games that exist, I don't think anybody in the gaming industry intends to release a bad game. Now, whether they have some kind of sentiment or agenda behind their works is redundant. I mean, if you're not the target audience, it doesn't really make sense for you to jump in and trash it for an hour and tell people not to buy it or invest in it, I think. I don't know. It's a weird mindset, because on Facebook and social media, I'm always trying to find the fans of games. And it's hard. It literally is. Like, am I the only person hyped for Intergalactic? Am I the only one who thinks it's cool that, Naughty Dog is doing something new and different for once? We're always saying that we want more innovation, more new IP, more new games. But when they do, like Forspoken from Square Enix, or Naughty Dog in this case, right, with Intergalactic, or it doesn't really matter. Like, even Ubisoft, which isn't that big of a flex. They always have a formula. But you know what? The formula freaking works, usually. There's a reason that people get them and buy them, I think we as gamers have changed. Our expectations over time have raised, because we've gotten so many great games that have come out that are graphically intense, or better than the last, or what have you. But I think with those expectations comes this kind of mindset that all games need to match our expectations. Like, a lot of people I see playing Avowed, for example, really like Avowed. And they like it And a lot of us are like, well, me included, okay? Like, I'm not a hater, but, I expected the Western RPG market to kind of have evolved since 2011, but I don't think that ever quite happened, did it? And people are like, it's unfair to compare it to Skyrim, which in a way it is, but in another, it's that expectations. Obsidian, they're the ones who did New Vegas, Pillars of Eternity, Outer Wilds, right, or Outer Worlds, one of the two. We expect things from Obsidian, but we just don't give them the light of day anymore today. It's just how it goes. I mean, even great companies like Rocksteady can't even release a half-effort Suicide Squad game without people losing their freaking minds. I played it. I didn't see anything woke with it. And yeah, the end game loop is very repetitive. But, all the content, that actual content they added was free. The new characters, the new levels and everything was completely free, which is weird for a live service game. So, I mean, they tried something new with a new IP and they got tossed under the bus. And we wonder why they're playing it safe and hitting our nostalgia. Well, this is why. You want these companies to try new innovative things. Like, let's not just automatically huck them under the bus. If you don't like a game, just don't talk about it. Don't mention it, man. Hype up the games you hype. This is why I champion games like Elden Ring, because these are games that I fully enjoyed. That I think most people would enjoy if they gave it an honest shot. It needs an easy mode. Man, you wouldn't survive 2 days on Ninja Gaiden. Not 2 minutes before you'd be like, this game is trash, man. It's too hard. Sorry. Anyways, I'm rambling on. And I don't know if I got any of my points across really, but it's just a mindset that I'm seeing in the gaming space that I'm kind of tired of seeing. Like, there's no shortage of people bashing on games. We don't always have to be all Andy Pants or real life fake wizard about it, And and I'm not shaming them. I mean, you're free to like what you like and hate what you hate, but let's not. I mean, where's the focus on the games that we enjoy? Where's the lovers of these games? Are they just being thinned out by all the noise, or do we exist? I just want to be that counterbalance. So, before I ramble on too far and go into weird tangents again, I'm just going to call this video good, but just keep in mind, I think we've changed and we need to change for the better. We need to champion games that we like, and we need to just stop the noise online about games we don't. And we need to realize that, what existed in the past very much exists today, only evolved in some ways, and most of it's our fault. Like, if nobody bought microtransactions, if nobody bought that freaking horse armor, or if nobody bought all those gotchas inside of that Maple Story game, such things wouldn't exist. If nobody bought into live service games like Fortnite, we wouldn't be having that crap now. We're the ones to blame, man. we wonder why they're focusing on so many live service games. I mean, let's okay. Now that I'm on that tangent, let's switch back. Let's look at the top performing games of, let's say, 2024. Games, yes, specifically. Top 50 best games. No, that's not what I was looking for. Money. Let's just go top games. A lot of these are mobile, but I'm not finding what I want. Like, how much money does Fortnite make in a year? Let's just look that up. $26 billion a year. And you wonder why companies are wanting to jump on that train, right? It's where the money is right now. Live service games. It's easy money because we hand it out to them. We always talk about COD too. Call of Duty. Was it really better back then in a lot of ways? Yeah, I think Modern Warfare 2, for example, the original, not the thing we got last year or last year. So, or the year before last. Those games were good because they always had a mode. They always had bots to play up against. Even my son and I play Black Ops 2 to just shoot some freaking noobs on Nuketown. Bots. But in Black Ops 6, nope, you always got to be online. You always got to buy that battle pass to have any sense of progression other than leveling up your guns, which is pointless for the most part. And you gotta get that Black Cell battle pass too, man. Like, one battle pass isn't enough. You gotta have multiple ones of tiers. So like let's hamper progression and like hide it behind a paywall, right? So I get the argument and I get the negativity, but I don't think we need to make it sound like we're in charge, because we're not. They're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to make what they're going to make, and we're either going to vibe with it or not. But whether we complain about it or not is up to us. Vote for your wallet, we say. Well, a lot of people are, and it's live service. So I don't know. Am I making any sense? Let me know. I just wanted to do a video topic today, and this sounded good. And I probably rambled on for way too long. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time to ramble some more. Old man yells at cloud. See you guys.